Hey, Shalom, Shabbat Nachamia, Yak Nachamia, your fellow saint in Yahweh. All right, we back at you with again. We back at you with again, Salaklia. We back at you again with another video, man. Uh, the Drewski uh video that I did a few days ago. The video didn't play, so my apologies on that. The video didn't have any sound. It's not. It played, but it didn't have any sound. So I'm not gonna do a video on it again. I mean, you could just look up the clip yourself and go ahead and go watch it. But we got something else. Just from that clip. I think it was from that video. Even when it was out sound, somebody ended up contacting me. They went to my channel. My website link is on my channel page, on the Saint of Yahweh channel page. They went to my website and got my contact information from my website. So I got a call from a number, I wasn't familiar with, so I'm like, let me go ahead and answer this because it could be something, some upcoming event from a number that I don't know about. So I answered it, right? And sounded like a brother. And he started to, tell me about some things. Obviously, he double checked to see if I was who I was for the channel and everything like that. It's kind of strange though. I'm like, how you get my number, man? He was just like, oh, ain't you the, Sons of Yah channel? I'm like, nah, Saint of Yahweh, that's my channel. He's like, oh yeah, yeah. He said, but I went to your website, and he confirmed my website, IsraeliteMarket.com, and he's like, I got your information. I'm like, okay, that makes sense now, but he told me about that. He's like, man, that's some very racist dude, going around, some so on and so forth and all that. And I'm just like, you should do a video on him. I'm like, I'm not just gonna be doing videos on people, if it sounded like it sounded like he kind of wanted me to slander or something. But I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. I was like, you send me some videos, man, so I can see what it is. So to see what it is you talking about, and I can see if it is, something, I can bring some scriptures out on pertaining to, what's being done, what's being said, so on and so forth. So we're gonna get into that, man. He sent me some clips. I browsed through just a few of them, and actually some of the brothers in the I guess a brother in the nation already kind of spoke to him, but we gonna check out some clips, man. I guess the man name is Gypsy Crusader, something like that. Gypsy Crusader, or his name is his real name is like Paul Miller or something like that. So we go ahead and show a quick clip of what the brother sent me. There's a few clips, so I'm gonna do over a few videos. I'm going to, Paul Miller. I guess that's his real name, but he go by Gypsy Crusader, right? But I'm gonna show they say he's a white supremacist. We got a few clips that the brother sent me, man. We gonna go ahead and start with one of these first ones real quick, and so y'all could kind of see who this Gypsy Crusader Paul Miller dude is, right? So I'm gonna do over a few videos. I'm gonna do it because I don't have too much time to cover everything, but we gonna go ahead and just pull this up and start with this one. We might not watch everything, but kind of just the main points on some of this. Like, I didn't watch everything, but I'm gonna cut it off where I feel like it's kind of enough, and we can go from there, man. So let's see what this Gypsy Crusader dude is, and what he talking about. So, giving all honor and glory to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son, Yeshua Mashiach, for this day, man. So let's go ahead and see what this is. See what this talking about, man.
Yeah, yo, say a little bit louder. A little bit louder, bro. A little louder.
Take a swing.
Yeah. Oh, take a swing, bro. I'm not gonna hit you, bro. You think I'm actually? You're idiot, bro.
Go ahead, take a swing.
Take a swing. I'm Gypsy Crusader. I got arrested, bro. Oh, look at me. I'm a 410. Post me for a little 410 voice for you are a bitch.
Go ahead,
you are the biggest bitch. Bro, look at you. You are 100% bitch. 100% Nate bitch. I'm not doing to you, bro. You would love that. You would love for me to take a script to you. Yeah, you would absolutely love that. Bro, get in your hands and knees first and I'll do it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, get in your hands and knees first.
Go ahead.
Get in your hands and knees first.
You gonna do it or what?
We're gonna do it or what? Get in your hands and knees first and see what happens.
The cops already know.
Yeah, the cops already know. They told him what? They called me a you called me a
I did tell him.
Yeah. Say it again, bro. Say it again. One more time. Yeah, you see that? This guy saying fully, bro.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
what about full mass? We got a lot of background, a lot of information.
I mean, like some of this, it ain't gonna go nowhere, man. It's not gonna go nowhere. It shouldn't be like a surprise. You know, you got some people who grow up in this, man. They grow up in that. They grow up in the information. They grow up in the history. Their parents teach them these things. Whether it's, you know, knowingly, then you got probably some parents, some, you know, so-called white parents that you know, say the word and, you know, they didn't mean to say it, but the kid heard it. And now they going to school saying it, you know, and it ain't gonna go nowhere. It ain't gonna go nowhere, man. You know, you got many people. This whole like white supremacy ain't going nowhere. It's not, you know. So, this shouldn't be a surprise. This shouldn't be a surprise. You just have somebody who's more out with it, who's more blatant with it, right? But these things happen with jobs, with workplaces. They instead of them calling you it straight up to your face, they say, "Oh, we don't want to hire. We found we found a more qualified applicant for the position." You know, so it's not gonna go nowhere, man. But the focus shouldn't be on these type of men out here. You know what I'm saying? This is not the focus that we should be on. We know this ain't going nowhere. I mean, read the Willie Lynch letter. You know, look how far they took it. Just read the Willie Lynch letter, man. You know, it's not gonna go nowhere. But the things we gotta focus more on, man, is making sure that we aligning ourselves with the scriptures entirely, right? Because you got these people who think that, you know, we, you know, we're destroyers, you know, and you know they bring up gang banging a lot, they bring up the incarceration rate a lot, and you know, and all these different things, man. You know, but the man, however, I don't know the context of all of this, but it still don't it doesn't call for what he doing. But you just have you know, YT people that is like that. They grow up like that. So, I mean, it really shouldn't be a surprise, you know, if there's a few scriptures that I want to go to regardless, you know, interacting with foolish people, you know what I'm saying? And how it makes you when you continue to interact. Like if that was me and he was in like, however this situation turned out, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't even stopped, because knowing me, you know, me trying to operate in the spirit of the Lord at all times, right? I would have to hold back so much, for me not to put hands on this man, you know. Proverbs 18 and saying, I'm gonna show you why, right? I'm gonna show you why real quick. Let me pull this up, because you'll have situations where this where this will happen, right? Proverbs chapter 18 verse 6, it says, a fool's lips come with strife and his mouth calls for beatings, right? This is in the LSB. So you got to understand, like, there'll be situations like that. But for me, if I ran into Gypsy Crusader or, you know, Paul Miller, whatever he want to go by, Man, I wouldn't even have the time of day. And you just have to learn when demons trying to antagonize you, man. And you got to know how to, avoid avoid situations, but because you see how he started calling the police. That's first. I'm gonna call the police, and we got, if you serving the Most High in sincerity and in truth, the truth will shed. The truth will be brought forth. But you do have to understand the nature of some white tea people. Um, you have to understand some of their nature, and but we got to remember, this when you interact, when you stop and you give time and energy to him, you already lost, man. That wasn't nothing but a simple, well, you could have got your video clip, kept on pushing, man. You got your evidence, bro, and kept on pushing. I wouldn't even stopped enough to even get into that whole interaction. I would have just kept pushing whatever. Like I said, I don't know the context of it, so the context of it really matters. But I'm pretty sure he ain't got into some tussles, man. Because if he talking like that and talking reckless like that, man, the scriptures say a fool's lips come with strife and his mouth calls for beatings. Right? A fool's mouth, verse 7, a fool's mouth is his ruin and his lips are the snare of his soul. Right? So you gotta be careful, because if you enter into that conversation with somebody like that, and then you turn yourself into a fool, and you might say something to trigger, and now you got an issue, right? That could have been avoided if you was to operate in the spirit of wisdom. So this whole Gypsy, let's go ahead and go back to this video real quick, and let's see if we got some more here
about this fella. That was Mr. Paul Miller, aka Gypsy Crusader, who is a notorious white supremacist with a criminal background. According to the Anti-Defamation League, in early March 2021, the FBI arrested white supremacist and accelerationist Paul N. Miller on 3 federal weapons charges. The FBI arrested Miller at his home in Fort Lauderdale following a federal indictment of being a convicted felon in possession.
So he got some criminal background, So the brother that called me was like, man, I think in like the next year or something, he gonna do like a mass shooting. Like, it's possible, man. It's very, very possible. This could be a warning. And I mean, it's possible, bro. It is indeed possible. But these are the things why we said we have to protect ourselves and making sure that we operate in the spirit of the Most High, in the Mashiach. Because for these types of dudes, man, these types of the wicked is who's gonna get it. The wicked is who's gonna get it. But obviously, unfortunately, we don't want none of our people to get harmed. But the ones who ain't doing right, the ones who ain't dealing right, those are the ones who's gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? But this is not gonna go it's not going anywhere. So it shouldn't be a surprise to us that we like, oh man, like, it shouldn't be. This has been going on for a very long time, bro. You just have some people who are just a little bit more blatant and out with it, like they used to be in times past. And he's just more blatant and out with it. I'd rather somebody be more blatant and out with it than to be secretive about it, than to do it behind an application, than to do it behind many other ways that they do it, than to do it behind being a doctor. Like I'd rather you be blatant, so I know what I'm looking at. I'm straight up, So let's go ahead and continue.
Of a firearm in 28.
But the point that he has a criminal record for whatever I don't know. I think the brother might mention it, but he got a criminal record. You know, has he done things to our community before? I don't know. You know, but criminal record, probably been to prison. I don't know. You know, if he's a white supremacist, he probably, you know, he got some ties somewhere.
18. Two additional weapon charges followed after the FBI searched Miller's apartment, found ammunition and a short-barreled rifle. June 2021, Miller pleaded guilty to possession of a firearm, ammunition, and an unregistered firearm. In September, he was sentenced to 41 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release.
So confirmed, he has been in prison. You know, I don't know how prison systems are in Florida, but I know in Cali, I've been to the pen. Yeah, out here it's segregation in the prisons. Segregation, for sure. Norteños with Norteños, Serranos with Serranos, right? So the Serranos and Norteños usually, you know, they had a truce when we was in there, so they stuck together. You got blacks with so-called blacks with blacks, you got whites with whites, and you got others. What they would, you know, others would be deemed as like Filipinos, Asians, so on, Hawaiians, so on and so forth. So it's extremely segregated out here in California, extremely segregated. You know, so if it's like that in Florida, I'm pretty sure you can kind of put 2 and 2 together on what he identifies as, you know.
There has also been allegations, including screenshots of correspondence of Miller allegedly grooming a 17-year-old. These allegations could not be independently verified. All right. It's really interesting to me how individuals can have so much bigotry inside of them that they can't just be cool in said public situation. They will literally draw attention to themselves rather than simply not. But it's difficult when there's an opportunity to be racist.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know someone who has to engage in aggression, bigotry, because the opportunity is available, that means that person's not making wise choices with their life.
Right, fair use. I want to put fair use out there, right? This is not my channel. This is the channel Undisputable. So I wanted to put fair use out there.
It's a very immature thing. And sir, I really believe you need to consult your inner child. Sir, I think it's damaged. And there is absolutely no shame in doing so, sir. All right? All right, it'll help you in those adult situations in the future. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Great advice. He's not going to take it, Doc. It's not going to happen. Here's the thing.
Hey, you know, that's crazy. You know, it's funny, bro. You got, it's going to be just a supremacist everywhere, man. You know, like it was funny. Shit, he ain't going to take it though. I mean, you could, it's going to take a miracle as it looks. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. Let's go ahead and continue though.
Racism's stupid. So you have an individual here whose IQ and EQ is not that high. Okay. The intelligence is not there, and the emotional quotient that allows most of us to reach a limit and not out, doesn't have it. So yeah, it may stem from childhood and things that were taught and things that were endured. But
that's what I'm saying. Like that's for somebody to be like that, bro. That start at the house. It start at the house, man. You know, I didn't deal with it a few times. Got in the, you know, that stuff never bothered me, man. You can say all this bunch of ends, like, I don't know who you talk, but that ain't me. You know, I got into, you know, like a scuffler. I got into a few isms, you know, behind it, but usually it never bothered me. It's usually when you try to get physical was when, okay, bro, we cracking now. You know, like that. But I've never been bothered by that word because that's not what I am. And that ain't gonna trigger me. You could say like you're gonna be talking to the wind, bro. And you saying you think that's gonna trigger, that is not gonna trigger me. I'm gonna act like I didn't even hear you, and you'll make you look stupid. You know, but you know, this we got a few more clips on here, man. So I don't think the sister got too much else to say on it, but let's see.
It's sad until he gets a handle on it. He may make a repeat, appearance on I Wish I Can.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it won't be the first time.
Yeah. Oh wow.
All right. We bring you up.
Yeah, so that seemed like what it is, man. But let's go back to the scripts though, man. It says a fool's lips come with strife, and his mouth calls for beatings. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are a snare of his soul. I think we got something in Sirach too, man. Let's go ahead and get something in there. Let me pull it up real quick, like, man. And I think it's Sirach 21. We gonna make sure. I think it's Sirach 21. Dang. So let me make sure if it's in here. And if not, we're gonna go ahead and cut it here, man. But that's, Paul Miller, Gypsy Crusader. We got a few other clips. We're gonna go over a few other clips as well. So let's just, stay tuned on what we about to get into. I don't think, oh yeah, see right here. I think this is, let me see. I don't know if this is it. Let's just read it though. Right? You got Sirach chapter 21, verse 18. Sirach 21:18. It says, as is a house that is destroyed, so is wisdom to a fool. And then, like, that's what's funny, because the sister was like, he ain't gonna listen. So, we see the scriptures actually coming to fruition. I can't say she know the scriptures or she even believe in the Bible, but we can see the scriptures come to life in many ways, shapes, and forms, right? Sirach chapter 21, verse 18, it says, as is a house that is destroyed, so is wisdom to a fool, and the knowledge of the unwise is talk without sense. So when the sister was like, he's not gonna listen, I mean, anybody that's dealing in that type of spirit, there's no wisdom shall not enter into a malicious soul. That's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 verse 4. So the spirit of wisdom will never be able to dwell in a dirty house, right? In a dirty vessel. It's not gonna happen. Right? Verse 19, doctrine unto fools is as fetters on the feet and like manacles on the right hand. Right? Doctrine unto fools is as fetters on the feet and like manacles on the right hand. So it's like they locked up, when they get the doctrines of wisdom. It's like they locked up, chained up, chain gang. You know what I'm saying? They don't see it as something that could be prosperous in their life if they were to apply it, and with full application. Right? Verse 20, a fool lifteth up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doeth scarce smile a little. Right? A fool lifted up his voice with laughter. Right? And we gonna see some of these other clips. Like, I barely seen them, so it's like I didn't really get into detail. Just kind of clips, browse through them real quick. So I only got very little. But in one of them is you could see you'll see his laughter. You'll see how you'll be able to tell. Right? But the scriptures say a fool lifted up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doeth scarce smile a little. Right? And the context of situations do matter behind this. Right? But if you really pay attention to somebody that you're dealing with, such as Gypsy Crusader, you dealing with somebody who is definitely foolish, and you have to know how to proceed with people like that, given countless scriptures that show you how to operate when you're dealing with fools. Right? So you got to be careful. And we might come back and finish this. Let me see. Verse 22. It says, a foolish man's foot is soon in his neighbor's house, but a man of experience is ashamed of him. So we really don't need this, but we're gonna bring some other scriptures as well pertaining to dealing with people that is fools, and how to be able to operate in situations when you're dealing with people like him. But I also want to leave with this, man, is that this should not be the focus of what we do things on, what we worry about. They out there, it's good to know what's going on out there so you can be aware. especially if you got family members that might be where he at, same city, same state, or whatever. So yeah, it's good to know what's going on. But don't let this be a surprise. Anytime we see this, it shouldn't be a surprise. Racism shouldn't be a surprise, man. We deal with that in many ways, whether you know it or whether you don't know it. But the Most High can have favor on you, man, to where he can make your enemies be at peace with you. That's the scriptures say. So, you know, don't let this be a surprise. Don't let this something that trigger you, and you feel like you gotta, man, these things are gonna continue to happen. They're going to continue to happen. But on the next video, man, we're going to get into some more scriptures. We're going to get into another video, what he talking about, what he looking like, so on and so forth, man. But with that, it's your brother Nehemiah, your Ak Nehemiah, your fellow saint of Yahweh. Continue to serve the Most High and the Mashiach in sincerity and truth. Shalom.